Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. I'm here to be talking about Twisters, which is a standalone sequel to the 1996 classic and pretty successful film Twister. And it follows this girl named Kate, who is played by Daisy Edgar-Jones, who is one of those storm chasers that likes to document how these tornadoes are happening and, doing research and seeing if there's a way to, stop it before it, really does destruction and damage to, the nearby towns in the area. And due to a tragic incident that happened to her as a result of being a storm chaser, she retires from that profession. But when one of her old friends, Javi, played by Anthony Ramos, convinces her to come back to Oklahoma because they see as a way that they can stop these, and they need her because she's really good at predicting when they'll spawn, how tough the current will be for these tornadoes, and she has a really good knack for it. And of course, there's a bunch of other characters in there, since we're in current time, everyone and their mother wants to be a famous Twitch streamer, YouTuber, etc. And so you have Tyler Owen's character, who is played by Glenn Powell. And he is one of those YouTube superstars, as they say, who live streams his documents on how he rushes towards the tornadoes and does a bunch of goofy stuff, like setting off fireworks in them and doing all that crazy stuff for clicks and likes on YouTube. And that the movie is just them trying to stop these tornadoes from damaging. But of course, the tornadoes do wreak havoc, and there's some good action and good effects throughout the film as well. Now, I was very curious to watch this movie, especially recently, because I've been desperate to watch more stuff in theaters because I've been slacking severely, as you guys know if you've watched my videos so far this year. So I decided to go see it, and I had a lot of fun. Now, this is coming from someone who hasn't seen the original, unfortunately. I do plan on watching it someday, but this, from what I've heard, it was a standalone, and I wasn't confused. There was no stuff that made me be like, huh? Because it is really its own thing, which I think is really smart for a movie like this. If you're going to make a sequel to something like Twister and it be decades removed from the original, it makes sense for it to be its own thing, to get in with the general audience on, okay, a lot of people probably haven't seen the original, since not only is it really old, and while it was a success, it isn't like a huge pop culture type of film. So I think that was smart of them to make it standalone, new characters, no references really that I've been able to see from the original, except, it's in Oklahoma. And speaking of Oklahoma, who would want to live there? Because I would be so mad and terrified for a tornado just to come and destroy everything I know and love, my house, family members potentially dying, and the whole city and town getting destroyed. That just seems like a messed up place to live, in my opinion. But the cast does a pretty solid job, and there's some, the story, I know we're mostly here for the thrills and yeah, tornadoes destroying stuff, but there is some good character beats and stuff, with Kate's character. You feel real bad for her because she had a lot of this enthusiasm and excitement for doing this profession, but due to a miscalculation that she feels responsible for, a lot of a couple of her friends end up losing their lives. And so it really has this somber tone throughout the film, and you feel bad for her. There's sequences where she has PTSD type stuff, and I was just wow, they really, I thought that they did a solid job with the human elements as well, because these are just characters in this situation, while also having great action, fun performances, and some good effects, and the tornado stuff. It was the film went by pretty quick. It was about 2 hours, and there was never a point where I wanted to check my watch and be is this movie dragging? Because even the parts where they're talking about the info, I was pretty invested because the actors were doing a great job. Speaking of those actors, Glenn Powell, who looks like he's starting to be a up and coming star rising. I've noticed ever since Top Gun Maverick, when he was one of the breakout characters, I've been seeing him get some roles here and there, and I think this is probably his biggest role since Top Gun Maverick. And I'm real happy for the dude because he seems like such a humble and likable guy, and it's just really cool to see he really put in the work to get to this point, because people have been pointing out how in the past Like, he was one of the kids from Spy Kids 3D, and he was this background character from The Dark Knight Rises. And I was just like, that's crazy. Like, he's really been on our screens for that long, and it's finally paying off in a great way for him. So, very happy for Glen Powell. He seems like a wonderful dude, and he's a really solid actor. And it's funny, like, his character in this film is a lot similar to in Maverick, where he comes off as kind of like the like over charming, cocky douchebag, but you know, when you get to know him and all, he's pretty chill and has some cool moments with him, and he seems like a cool dude. So it's really funny, like that formula, that performance type seems to really work for him, which is great. Again, the film was really solid. It had some fun action set pieces. The performances were good. There was a story that had some good emotional weight to it that made you invested with the characters, not just some turn off your brain type of movie. And I could really appreciate that. And with all that said, those are my thoughts on Twisters. Again, let me know what you all think of the film. Please let me know down below in the comments section. And if you want to hit the subscribe button as well to get notified when I upload, that would mean so much to me. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.